Hello, everybody. Pastor Randy here. Welcome to Making It Simple. I hope you're doing great on this beautiful Wednesday. Lord willing, we're going to wrap up our teaching today on what is the church, who is the church, why does it matter? As we look at this last part, we ended off yesterday talking about why did Jesus establish the church? Because he himself was the one who said, I will build my church. So if indeed he's the construction behind this, if he is the builder behind this, if you will, why? What was the intent? What was the purpose? What was the reason? And have we lost that vision? We think of the establishment of something. There's always a purpose behind it. Always, right? Whether it's a foundation, whether it's a cause, whatever, it doesn't matter. And even if it's a physical structure, there's a purpose, there's an intent there, whether it's to sell something, whether it's to, house an event, whatever, there's always a purpose or a reason. Jesus formed the church. He said, I will build my church. And again, we go back to lesson, whichever one it was in this series, of what does that word even mean? Okay, because we've clearly established it is not, under any circumstance, a denomination. It is not the physical building. It is the gathering. It is those within. It is those who come together in like-minded belief for one cause, and that is to worship together the Lord. That's it. Okay, that's the church, and that's universal, and is every believer that exists. Every believer, all right? Now, what we've allowed to happen over time is the division to take place through, and again, we've gone through this, different worship styles, different names, different ideas, whatever. And it's created a mess. We've completely lost our way. This goes back to my teaching from Revelation, which again, I encourage you to please go and listen to that. It's available exclusively on my YouTube teaching channel. The 7 letters to the church. Just go to number 1. Just go to lesson 1. I would love for you to listen to all 7. But just go to number 1, and that tells you everything. All the answers are right there. When Jesus said, you left your first love. Left is the absolute key word, and it is the answer to every single issue within the church today. Absolutely. Bar none, unquestioned, and not just because I say so, because the evidence is there. You know, for most of you that know me, the first 13 years of my professional adult life were spent in law enforcement, and you learn things about evidence, all right? Evidence makes it clear. You know what happened. It just becomes obvious. Left your first love is the main evidence of the reason that we see things in the church today that shouldn't be there, okay? Because what has been allowed to happen is, just as in life, when you leave one thing, what do? You replace it with something else. When the church, the establishment of the church, as Jesus said, I will build, that means he orchestrates. He puts together the pieces of it. He pulls it all together. He gives all the instruction and all the direction. Those who will follow me. That was his instruction. Follow me. And we get lost in that sometimes because we just think, well, see, friends, we have left following him, and we've replaced that with religion. That was never the intent. Never. See, Jesus says, if you have seen me, you have seen the Father. He's just trying to help us get home. That's all. And if we would go back and actually listen to what he's teaching, it all starts making sense. We don't have to congest it with all kinds of different things. I've been really, really intent on listening to a lot of different teachings that are out there, not to be influenced one way or the other. I want to know what's out there. And now it is so clear why so many people want nothing to do with the church. I get it. And I say that as a pastor. I say that as one on the inside. I know why. Because it becomes such a just confusing mess that nobody seems to be able to sort out. Because, and I'm not putting myself on any kind of pedestal at all, but very few are willing to have the conversations that I try to have with you, and very few will simplify it in the way that I try to. And I'm not saying that I'm the only one, but what I am saying is too many try to find ways to present this, not only in just a complicated manner, but in a let's look at all the words and let's look at all the how many big words I can try to impress. None of this is about trying to impress anybody. It's trying to save your soul. That's what it's all about. Why would I listen to anybody? Okay? Well, it's the interest in the message that is being given. But the message really doesn't mean anything if the messenger doesn't have the right heart. Jesus did. And his message was from the Father. And it was very clear. We talked about this yesterday and the day before. He really, really, really made it easy. Love God and love one another. You do those things right, you'll begin to follow me and you'll begin to see the right way to do things. The book of Acts, it records the history of how all of it became together, how all of it started. And again, oftentimes things start one way and they don't always end that way. If we go back just in brief, it says from Acts chapter 2, it says, continuing daily in one accord in the temple and breaking bread from house to house, they ate their food with gladness and simplicity, love that word, of heart. Simplicity of heart. Friends, this doesn't have to be complicated. It just doesn't. Okay? Again, I'm not going to get into the comparative game about who says this or that, because that's neither here nor there. But I get why when it starts getting all complicated and all confusing, many people just walk away because I don't understand it, or I could never accomplish that. I could never get there because I'm not smart enough, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not. They came together in one accord. That's like-mindedness. That's for one reason. They broke bread from house to house. They ate their food with gladness. They were grateful. Okay? Are you grateful for a meal on your table? Are you grateful for a roof over your head, regardless of what kind it is? See, that's where everything begins, in that simplicity of heart, praising God and having favor with one another. And the Lord added, because he's building his church, to the church daily, those who were being saved. That's it, friends. That's the example. That's it. How easy is that? We, humanity, have complicated it because we have tried to establish religion ties to Jesus. Jesus had nothing to do with religion. In fact, religion was directly and probably at the top of the list of responsibility of killing Jesus. Okay? That wasn't what he was about at all. Not at all. It was about seeing people come to him. It was about seeing people surrender their hearts to him. And the first church, the establishment, the foundation, they got it. It just wasn't hard because they saw I love that line, simplicity of heart. They were saying, you know what, guys? We all have differences. We all like different things because that's how we're made, right from the very beginning. My youngest daughters are identical twins, and yet still they like different things. That's how we're made. You know, we can have things in common and we can have things that are completely and totally opposite. But that doesn't mean that we can't get along. That doesn't mean that we can't love one another. That doesn't mean that we can't like each other. That does not mean we cannot worship together. Okay? Because if we come together in one accord, there again, that is like-minded. That is the simplicity of heart. Hey, we're here for the same reason. We might not have drove up in the same car. We might not have had the same breakfast. We might not have on the same clothes. We might not have the same hairstyle. We might not be the same age. We may not be the same race. But we love the same Jesus. And if we can agree on that, none of the rest of it matters. Love God. Love one another. When we start doing that, we'll start being able to build walls back on the foundation that he laid as he began to build his church. Why does it matter? In this big, vast world of ours, friends, there's a lot of people, a whole bunch of them. Over 8 billion, it says, by census standards. How many ever that is real or not, who knows? Of that, how many people know Jesus? I have no idea. A lot more know about him than know him. Why does it matter? It is the church, those who know him, those who love him, those who follow him. It is our responsibility to show him to others. That's our call. That is the call of the church. Go and make disciples. What is a disciple? One who follows. Jesus said, follow me. Not anything else. Not anybody else. Not politics. Not religion. Not sports. Not entertainment. Not ideologies. No, he said, follow me. Why? Why? I've said this before in other lessons, and I say it in my ministry all the time. He's the only one that knows where he's going, and he knows exactly how to get there. All we got to do is listen. And when we get ourselves out of the way, when we come back to our first love, and we begin to listen to what he says, it'll change the way we live. It'll change the way we think, and it'll change the way we treat each other. And it will make the church not only grow daily once again, it will make the church shine brightly among the darkness that surrounds us. Friends, go forth. Go forth and tell. Go and let somebody know how much not only that you love Jesus, but how much he loves them. Why does it matter? Because God gave us a job to do, and he expects for it to be finished, and finished well. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. I hope you've enjoyed this time together on this series. I'll be back with you on Monday, taking the rest of the week off. I've got some personal things I want to go and take care of, and some time that I just need to step away for a few moments. But thank you so much for joining me daily here, for making it simple. God bless you. Have an awesome rest of the day, and Lord willing, I'll see you on Monday with a brand new teaching series. Take care.